nephew.
Let's talk about it. Gotta talk about it. Let's think about it. Think about it. 2 trillion thoughts.
What's happening, y'all? 2 trillion thoughts. It's Thursday, July 1st, man. 5 more months left of the year before it's 2022. Can you believe that? I'm feeling away right now. I'm gonna just go right into it. If this will come up, they had a memorial. There was a memorial for my Aunt Kitten. She passed May 2nd, but they had the memorial today. So I've been real sad, crying, and I don't know if I know she's with Jesus Christ, and I know that she's in a better place, and but still, as my mom has 2 sisters, and one of them just passed. Our oldest family member, I sent Jameson out there because I couldn't be there, but it was great to hear all the reflective thoughts and everything about Aunt Kitten. So just, eyes nice and red from crying. Like I said, Jamie left. Jamie went and had a good time. You understand me? That was us dropping her off. Jameson was all the way there. And she been jumping in pools and being with cousins. She is I would say the oldest girl, but Jasmine's the oldest niece. And then it's Justice and Jameson, but we got kids around Jameson's age, so that's cool. And then this week, Lanika came on air with us and hung out with me and Erica. Erica was in the studio. This week, so that was cool. Lanika, we ain't had nobody in the studio in so long. And then it's my brother's birthday. Hold on, it's Dez's birthday was yesterday. It's Dez's birthday, little brother. Y'all think I'm a Raider fan? I mean, y'all don't think. Y'all know I'm a Raider fan. Raider Nation. And thank you for rocking your God Big shirt, Dez. Dez is Raider Nation. I got 1 tattoo. Dez got 30. This Hall of Fame tats that he's about to do right now is bananas. I'm like, Dez, go ahead, homie. And then yesterday, June 30th, was also my bonus mom's Myrtle's birthday. How about that? That's my dad's wife. And it was she's the one who introduced me to the word bonus. She called me her bonus son. Myrtle is awesome. Her and Dad share the same birthday, so that's even cooler. They share the same birthday also with Mike Tyson. So I know he's somewhere high, but California is legal. Last night, if you watched the Phoenix Suns game, Chris Paul showed off, but this was really cool what he did at the end. Just happened to have something to do with Erica Campbell.
This playoffs, how a lot of people thought when you went to Oklahoma City, okay, well, he's just going to finish his career out that way without another bite at the apple of tasting something like this.
Yeah, Rach, I'm going to tell you, I write something on my shoes every game. It say, Can't Give Up Now. Mary got a song called Can't Give Up Now. I listened to it today. I got traded to OKC. That's why I write it on my shoes every game.
Straight up. How about that? Chris Paul with the proper love to Mary. Hashtag Can't Give Up Now on his everything. Oh, and when I was in the studio, this should make y'all laugh real quick. When I was in the studio with Erica and Lanika, her kids were also there. Her daughters, Krista's 16, about to be a senior, and Zay, I believe Zay is 9. And while we were there on air, we had the listeners call in and say, if you could put together a super group what would that group be? And it could be secular, it could be gospel, it could be whatever. So I said Erica Campbell, Yolanda Adams, Mary J. Blige, and somebody else. I can't remember right now. That's not the point. But the point is, I named the group Blessed Wet. But it's very East Side Decatur, Atlanta. But Blessed Wet. And because of that, Erica and Krista, they did a whole situation.
So I made up this group this morning. Yes. We had a super group was the Get Up All. I said Erica Campbell, Mary J. Blige, Yolanda Adams, and Tina Marie. And I said they would be named Blessed Wet.
So we made up the theme song. You ready? Mm-hmm. I'm blessed. Wet. I'm blessed. Wet. I'm blessed.
When I wasn't ready for that whole song. So I wanted to show you guys some things that Emmanuel was in, right? Emmanuel Lewis is our guest today. You might know him from Webster. But I was saying how I knew him first from the Life Cereal commercial. Let's see, let me mute.
There's one wonderful way.
Hold on, let me mute that so they don't give me copyright infringements. I know him from the Campbell Soup commercial, right? But then he had a couple other commercials as well. He had this one. That was the Life Cereal commercial. Y'all all know Emmanuel Lewis right there, little fella. He was getting it in all the way, right? But then I didn't also know, or I forgot. Like I knew, I forgot. I all the way forgot. He also had a Burger King, like a huge Burger King commercial at the same time. And they was like, oh, Mr. Lewis, now that you're a big star, you know, what do you like to eat? And, you know, he was saying the Whopper. And it was just a really cool commercial. And it's what put him on. It's what put him on to eventually have him on the show Webster. And you might remember the show Webster, Alex Karras. And he is about to tell you some information about Webster that I don't think anybody knew. Okay? Like, seriously, like, I don't think anybody knew this information because I just learned about it. And it was amazing. And so we also are going to talk in depth about Michael Jackson. I don't know if you remember, but he had a really cool relationship with Michael Jackson. So that's what we're doing today, y'all. It's going to be an awesome conversation. So I would like y'all to welcome my guy on 2 Trillion Thoughts, Emmanuel Lewis. How about that? I already told you I was going to have a great friend on. I respect this brother in so many ways, not just from his TV accolades, but from his after TV accolades and the conversations we've had on the side. This is a brother that's really, really full of joy. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Emmanuel Lewis.
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Number one, you got the best laugh ever. Like, you've been to so many comedy shows with me and sat in the front. I mean, sometimes you didn't even say you were coming. Sometimes you would just come and support and laugh. So let's go back. Let's go way back.
I'm afraid because we got so many years.
No. I'm talking about.
I don't even know how.
No.
What is back? The 90s?
Right.
What is back?
Not just our back. Let's go way back.
Oh, okay.
Life cereal commercial back.
Oh, God dang. Okay. Yeah.
When,
right, yeah.
Answer me this. When was that your first commercial? Was that your first anything? Do you remember the audition? Tell me about that. Because I'll be playing it while you're talking about it right now.
Okay, so Campbell Soup was my very first commercial,
Oh,
but Life Cereal was my first commercial that I went to LA for.
got it. And
So
you're
that was
originally from where?
so I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Bed-Stuy, represent
Come
Lafayette
on.
Gardens.
Come
What's
on.
up? What's up? You know what I mean? But so when we did the Life Cereal commercial, we had to do it at what was called the Disney Ranch. And we flew all the way to California, but my very first trip to Cali was for that Life Cereal commercial.
And how old were you?
10 maybe, 9, 10.
Yeah. So
10,
from
11.
that commercial, it's did you know it was gonna go all over to be a a national commercial? Did you think it was gonna be local? Did they even tell you, like, what was your experience from that?
You know, at a such young age, you know, you don't really understand everywhere.
Of course.
Okay, everywhere is everywhere I've been. That's mentally everywhere.
The park, look, the park, grandma house, my cousin's house, that's everywhere. I've been everywhere today.
So, so when you say national and regional, you know, those are corporate words that a 9-10-year-old really don't fully grasp the meaning of those type of things at that age. But as you know, 10 and a half, 11, 12, then I really started to understand aspects of when they said national and regional and international and things like that. That's when it really started to make sense, because now they're showing me demographics, and they're showing me what countries, and they're showing me, and so that's when it really started to make sense as to where it's going, how many times they're running it in the course of the day, in the course of a week, in the course of a month. Those so when they begin to break it down in those terms and then show it to me on paper, then it really, you know, those were the grooming years, you know what I mean? So we were really learning what it was about, because for me as a kid, I would do the audition, and then by the time I got home, all honestly, I forgot all about it. I wasn't even thinking about it no more. I never thought about my commercial that I had done after the moment I got home.
How? That's good to know. and that's good to know, because we live in a society now of momagers and dadagers. How were your parents during this whole experience between 9 and 13?
You know, Mom.
I'm asking because you talk about them often, and it's always such love and appreciation, where other childhood stars, I mean, that's why I really wanted to talk to you, because you're such an anomaly. You don't have your parents ain't try to rob you. You know, I'm walking us through it right now. So from 9 to 13, how influential were your parents on your life?
Okay, so my mom and father was very much alive during those particular times. I didn't see my father a lot. I saw him periodically, okay? But mom was the rock, okay? So I'm the youngest of 4 living in her household, okay? I have siblings on my father's side, but in our household, I'm the youngest. So mom was a straight up mama bear. She was, you know, like, I'm the baby cub, you know, she's ferociously looking after me and my welfare, from, you know, neighbors, from down the street, from playing in the yard. Like, it would, so if you understood that aspect of it, no one else really had a chance on screwing with me mentally, physically, or anywhere else. It didn't happen on the playground. So like you get beyond that. It was even a tighter clink in regards of what I was doing, what I wasn't doing. You know what I mean? Those years I barely played in the playground a lot, because you know, we lived in the projects. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah, ain't nobody playing in the playground. It'd be an old swing with a rusty slide. That's the whole playground.
This is what they call the concrete jungle, you know, that you know, she's singing about in her song Concrete Jungles and May. Yes, we in the PJs, we in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Lafayette Gardens, LG, whatever you want to call it. And so that whole scenario where you can get robbed in the elevator just going to your, you know, apartment, you know what I mean?
It was real.
And so like, so she was just very, you know, aggressive and just keeping us safe at home. So you go through the process, and she worked for the government in Manhattan, right? This is a woman, you know, Christian woman, wore a dress everywhere, every day, never owned a pair of sneakers, you know what I mean? Always wore high heels. She was like that, you know. So this is that she's a lady, you know what I mean? So she was like, yeah, like it's a whole different, once you get that concept, the visual in your head, you be like, okay, that lady right there, yeah, she's serious about her kids. And no, we were not going out. We were not trying to do too much. You know, she was just trying to keep as strong of a hold on us as possible with 3 boys and 1 girl. So that's a different mama mentality when you're dealing with boys versus all girls. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying it's any easier, but it's just.
Oh, no, but yeah, they got a shift. My mom got 3 boys, 2 girls.
Yeah.
And me and my brother are the oldest. So, in fact, his birthday is today. So,
happy birthday.
Absolutely. You know, so you shoot this commercial.
Yeah.
This life cereal is everywhere. People are coming up to you now at school saying, "Hey, I saw you on the commercial." Is that how that first happened? Tell me about the first time somebody said, "Ain't you the guy?"
So they had this thing called PIX. So right after the school program, you would see this thing on TV where they had the games, and you were playing like an arcade games, like an asteroid game on TV back in the day, if you remember that, right? And then right after that,
the Pong.
Yeah, you remember that? You had that like, yeah, okay, so back. So that used to be the thing. So everybody would race home to go see that. Right after that, my commercial would hit. So everybody and their mama saw it at those times, right? So this is when you know it's really, really, really different. It hits, let's say Thursday, Friday, and then come Monday, all weekend long, your stuff is like hitting hard. You know what I'm saying? You come back to school, your teacher that used to scowl at everybody, you know what I mean? I had some really menacing looking teachers. They just did not like to be there. I don't know, but they would just look like they're scowling at you early in the morning, like, what? Why you so evil? You know what I mean?
So mad? They're like, I'm from New York, little boy. You know, smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee. You don't know what it is. You all on the commercials.
So I come in, they start smiling now. They're smiling and watching me walk past them. And, you know, I just got this eerie feeling like, what the hell is she smiling at for? Like, what's going on? I'm like completely oblivious, right? I don't know what the drop is now because, you know, the kids are whispering and I don't forget all about it. And
you so New York. Hold on. Let me just stop you. You so New York, you gonna say, I don't know what the drop is. Like, only New Yorkers, they don't listen. Don't be smiling at me, dog.
They're smiling. I'm like, you appreciate it as a New Yorker that when people don't pay you no mind at all. But when they're looking at you mad, or if they're looking at you and they're smiling, something's not right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Something's not right. And you need to find out as soon as possible.
So Monday, teachers and everybody is like, yo, now everybody over nice to you. Let's fast forward from that commercial. When did you get the script for Webster? When did you audition, or did they say, we have a show for you? Because tell me that experience. Did you really have to audition with 100 black kids?
No, not at all. So what happened with that is by then I had done like 3 or 4 Burger King commercials, and I was hitting them off back to back. We won a Clio for one of our first ones with Larry Riley.
Nice.
And that was huge. The president of ABC at the time, Lou Ehrlich, had seen his family had showed him the commercials. What I was told, his family showed him this commercial, and they told him that you got to do something with him or whatever. And so we got the message, and they flew us out to LA to meet with them at I believe it was like Century City, like Avenue of the Stars or whatever. They were their old ABC compound in LA, which I think one of the talent agency owns it now, I think. But back in the day, that was there. And so we sat down and met with them, and they said that they wanted to create a show around me. And so it was first called Another Ball Game. And then
because of George.
Right. So so there was me, and then they said, well, we want to pair you up with this what is it, Alex Karras, and then Alex wanted Susan to be on the show, as far as what they was telling us at the time. And then so they were husband and wife in real life, and they were like, okay.
Oh, they was husband and wife in real life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So then they changed the name to Then Came You, which is the theme song. And then right before the show was to air, they changed it to Webster. They had done their, where the studios do their...
they have the people come in and look at it.
Yeah, test audience and all that kind of stuff. Focus groups. Yes, they believed in focus groups. I love it. So they did their focus group, and they changed the name of the show to Webster. And that was that. And it pretty much, we did the pilot. It got really good reviews. This is again when it was only ABC, NBC, and CBS. It wasn't a whole lot of a lot of other
TV guides, homie.
Yeah, exactly.
You was on the cover of many TV guides. And I say that because my mom used to do this thing with TV guides, and she would put 45s in them. She would fold them, like she made record holders out of 45s. And I remember you was on the cover of that and a Jet and something else. And I was such a fan, dog. I was like, man, that little black boy on TV, I'm gonna be on TV. Like, seriously.
Absolutely.
So how many seasons did you do of Webster?
6.
6 seasons back then. How many episodes is that?
I don't remember the exact number. I should, but it was over 100 episodes.
It was over 100. So you still get a Webster check?
Yeah, it's been syndicated international. Matter of fact, we was going to stop at 5, and they wanted another year for syndication, because when they sold it to syndication, it was one of the top 3 syndicated shows in America. And then the other shows behind us, the Cosby show, did their great thing and blew it out the water. And then Roseanne came out, and I think they blew that out the water. But
so at you the time, was always in the top 3 with Roseanne, the Cosby Show, and then y'all?
Before them. That was before them. So when we went into syndication, we was the top 3 syndicated show in America, period. And then they came on, and then they records are meant to be broken. So
absolutely. So 6 years you moved to Los Angeles, or you stayed in New York?
I stayed in I still was going to school in Brooklyn. I went to PS 256, Benjamin Banneker.
Hold on. I'm from Cali, and this always makes me laugh about New York people. All y'all schools is named after numbers. What is PS2? What does that mean? It's a
public school. Public school,
PS
256 was the number of the school. Benjamin Banneker was actually the name of the school.
So y'all wasn't in Atlanta, Banneker High School. So nobody in New York would say I went to Banneker. They always gonna say PS
256.
Whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
PS 256. Yeah, you learned later on who Benjamin Banneker was.
Of course.
They didn't talk about hardly any of that while we were in there.
Never. I didn't know who he was till I moved to Atlanta, and I went and spoke at the school the first time. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you in school for 2 seasons. When did your mom say, okay, you can't go to school no more? It's hectic.
Never.
Real
My
mom.
mom. So mom, in her mind, she was trying to create a normal child in an abnormal situation.
Right.
So I continued doing elementary at 256. Then then they created a performing arts junior high school called Satellite 4. And that was in where the heck was that? That was in downtown Brooklyn. That was for 2 years. And then I went to Midwood High School in Brooklyn, right across from Brooklyn College. But when I was on set, I had my own designated private tutor to correspond any of my schoolwork from school with my private tutor. So I got all the work done that was at my home school. I did it
when you wasn't at school, you was doing school, catching up.
Right.
But you were shooting in LA or you were shooting in New York?
I was shooting in LA, but the show looked like it filmed out of Chicago.
Yeah. I know now. I was so confused.
It's crazy.
Right. Okay, so you shoot these. In the middle of this, you're meeting celebrities. One of the biggest ones, that a picture that everybody know, is this picture I'm showing right now of you and Michael Jackson. Tell me, when Michael Jackson was so big in this picture, there's got to be 84, 85 Grammys or something.
Which one you're showing?
Hold on.
What does it look like?
Yeah, I guess I should probably show you so you could. Hold on. Yeah, that.
It took like a million of them.
Yeah, I know. That's what. Yeah, that. Hold on.
Literally he had his professional photographer and videographer around us half the time. So yeah.
So this one I'm gonna show.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That was one of the award shows, right?
And that. So how did? And then I mean, it's a bunch of them, like you said. It's you and them. When did
that was New York? That was New York Tavern on the Green when I met the brothers for the first time. So
they were Jackson 5.
So yeah, I met the brothers for the first time that day, and Don King was there. Sophia Stewart was there, and that's the first time I had met all the brothers. He says, I want you to come to Tavern on the Green in Central Park. It's in the middle of Central Park. And I want you to meet them. They're going to love you. You're going to love them. It's dope. And so that's the first time I met the brothers. Yes.
What is this?
I don't know.
Why do you have so many random pictures with Michael Jackson on the web, dog? Like you were, I mean, Jesus. Oh, there go Don King. That's what. There go the brothers. Don King. I see it.
Yeah.
Let me say that. We're gonna put
and that was a custom design leather outfit that my mom had made, because I think she was a artistic designer. She and I made that outfit, so we were very happy to look.
Tell me about this. I believe this is the Grammys in 84, 85. You, him, and Brooke Shields. Tell me what you remember about that picture and that night.
Oh, so those were fun. So, okay, so Brooke Shields and I had worked together with Bob Hope, right? Nice. And so she and I knew each other. We did a lot of stuff for the USO and the military, whatever. But Mike didn't know that I had knew her, right? And her mom and whatnot. Yeah. So I, of course, told him that, I fancied Brooke. And so just so that we can get the girl is mine rivalry going on, you know what I mean? Oh. Just because when you're the little brother, you know what I mean? You just love to just try and get it in as much as possible, right? And he's like, I don't understand the things you say, seeing that she's yours, not mine. So we would go into the lyrics in the talking version of the girl is mine and stuff like that. And I would have fun, just mess with him. And you know what? I thought about it. I never told him that I worked with him. So he never knew that I was messing with him the whole time.
That you know her.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He introduced me to her.
his anniversary of his
So
passing was a couple days ago, last week.
yeah.
When you think of Michael Jackson, what do you remember the most? And were y'all cool? Did you like talk to him before This Is It? Like, did y'all stay cool, or did he?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we homies to the end. Not ever a situation or problem. I mean, dude. I mean, like our bond was just so strong. You know, that was my big bro. Like for real, for real. You couldn't tell me any different. You know what I mean? I have older brothers. I know what it's like to be a younger brother.
Yeah.
You know, he did those things that older brothers do, you know. My brother always picked me up and put me on his shoulders. You know what I mean? Those are just, yeah, come here, boy. Yeah, you can't see nothing. And you know what I mean? Like, let me show you what's going on. And they would always talk to me and explain stuff to me. And just, it was always fun and great times. So when you ask me, like, it's like years of so many great lessons and conversations and you know, putting me on game and helping me understand different elements of the industry and of business, how shrewd he was as a businessman. You know, just things that I needed to be mindful of and you know, going after things that I wanted to do without any care, like just be resilient was one of the words he would always say. And you know, and try and have skin as rhinoceros skin. I don't know if that's possible, but you know, words hurt. Forget that. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna act like, you know, all this macho stuff that we're taught as early age. Nah, that's bull crap. Words hurt, and you know, they have value. You know what I mean? Especially if it's coming from somebody that you know. So just so many different life lessons I learned along the way. That's what I get.
What is this black and white picture, y'all? And what is that in his hand?
That's my leftovers. And you know, I could never eat all my food. And so they would create this origami.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say it looked like.
That's what it was. Yeah, I couldn't eat it all. So and it was dark that night, and the Rolls Royce was either behind us or in front of us. And Bill was with us. I think he was ahead of us. When I speak of Michael, you also have to speak of Bill Bray, because
of who?
You know, Bill Bray, the head of his security.
Yes.
Okay. So Bill Bray was like the pappy of the group. Okay. So he was definitely, you know, old dude with that brim. And I spent a lot of time. I spent as much time with Bill as I did with Michael. You know what I mean?
So when I show you this picture, where was Bill at? On the left or taking the picture? On the side, or did Mike just keep photographers with him?
Bill was on the side. It was hot to me. And we were riding from one ride to another ride. And it was just one of those candid shots that you take. Bill and Mom stood side by side. I never went anywhere like of that magnitude, like Disneyland or World or whatever, without my mom and Bill like in tow.
Got it. Wait a minute. This is Captain Neo, right?
Captain EO, yeah.
Yeah, that was when it first came out?
No, this is him shooting it.
That's the video. That's the video.
That's him getting ready to shoot Captain EO, and he had something on his face, and I was trying to tell him to wipe it off, but he couldn't see it. So I said, just bend down and I'll get it for you. And I was just helping getting some off the side of the face. You know, if you got real boys, you don't let them go out there looking crazy.
Yeah, straight up. And you know what? I've always heard you talk positive about Michael. So tell me the last conversation you had with him. Do you remember?
Let me see, the last conversation. It's been like 10 years, over 10 years, 12 years, 13 years. The last conversation I had with him was during rehearsal. And it was face to face. and he was just excited and very focused on rehearsal of This Is It. I was a little solemn about the whole idea of This Is It.
Was This Is It 12 years ago? Oh, it was 07. Jesus.
So okay, so let me kind of run you back in my mind thought, because you're like making me like think about that.
Yeah.
It's a whole different energy field, you know what I mean? Vibe change. So okay, so to make it really, really simple, every album had not just a name, it was a prophecy. Every name that he named any of his albums was more of like his self prophecy. Okay. And it had to do with his mental state, his state of mind, and what was to come. The moment that I heard that it was called This Is It, my heart dropped, because that meant exactly what that meant. When people hear that, they're thinking, oh, this is it, and it's it's just a title. No, not for him. If you knew him and you knew how much time and energy that he put in his titles, that title, This Is It, meant it was over.
Yeah.
And over didn't mean over with his concert. It means lights out, it was over. So when I heard that, I took it like that. I never took it like it was just an album title, because I knew through the, spending that kind of quality time.
Right, you've been around them, all the ones they all made.
Yeah. So when I heard that, it was like my stomach just like.
You still a little uncomfortable just talking about it, right? I'm
still uncomfortable with it, because it's like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you like, you know what I'm saying? Why would you like, when you go into some of the greats that passed before and some of the greats that passed since, and you hear some of the words they say, they tell
Tupac and Biggie said on all songs, when I die, I'm going to be more famous than I am while I'm alive. And I used to say, stop saying that, Pac. Like, stop saying that.
Prince said the elevator, the devil's in the elevator. Where did he die? So if you look at all the different people that had self-prophecies on things they said, I'm not talking about what people said about them,
right,
about the things they said. And if you actually could hear it and actually took it serious, then you have a different vibe about it. You know what I mean? It's like what you're saying. Why are you making it true? You know what I'm saying? People don't understand the power of words. And as a Christian, I know you understand. You speak those things as if they were. So when you say stuff, you literally cast your own future before you. So why would you say something that would put your life in jeopardy? Why would you do that? Yeah. And me knowing that, believing that, it was eerie from the moment I heard the title. It was eerie as all get out. And I can't even, just the thought of it makes me feel uncomfortable. So when you go into what did I think about, see, if you understand my mindset, then you understand that being there and around him, knowing that this is what he's doing, it's like waiting for the shoe to drop, hoping it never drops.
Got it. Well, I'm looking at all these pictures of y'all, and it's clear that you was his real friend, or he was your real friend. Y'all spent a lot of time together, and I would love to see some of the pictures and videos that only you and him got. Like, I know. Oh, tell me about that amusement park at his house. Was it really a Six Flags?
Listen,
or not exaggerated. It wasn't all roller coastery like that, or
okay. So there's different elements of it, and he loved roller coasters. He's a huge roller coaster
I heard.
enthusiast. I'm the exact opposite. I hate roller
Duh!
coasters. So I remember when he got me to go on Magic Mountain, and I'm like, listen, dog, I don't really do roller coasters like that, but I'll come and hang out with you. You know, where's the water gun? Pew, pew, I'll do that. But like, I'm not really, like, come on. I want you to ride. I want you to enjoy it like I enjoyed. I'm like, dude, I don't really do, like, since I was a kid, I hated the kiddie rides, let alone the grown-up rides.
Right.
They not too short for any of that stuff anyway. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm pulling out every card I have to try and get out of this thing. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll do it for my boy, but you know, I'm telling you right now, it's a nightmare. Man, I cried on that doggone ride. I was like, it was painful. It was, I think he had on his brown leather jacket, and I just bit that brown jacket. I'm not coming down that roller coaster ride, and it's the log one and Magic Mountains or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that thing is doing all of this extra whoop-de-whoop in the loop-de-loop and the spins and all of that in the air, and it was the worst roller coaster ride.
Mike was loving it, wasn't he?
Oh, I mean, his hands in the air, like he's like on the roller coaster ride, just like, you know, taking his hat off and like having a ball. And I'm in the
meanwhile, you a traumatized child, like your brother made you get on. Mama!
I got PTSD from that doggone roller coaster ride. I'm trying to tell you that right now. Like, I'm like, dude, when the ride is like, it finished doing that big, that swoop thing with on the top of the thing, and you coming down and doing all this other extra business, and you get down to the bottom, right? And you know, I feel like I'm a respectable person, so I'm like, okay, I'm trying to clear up because, you know, when you get to the stop, it's a crowd of people over there.
Yeah, everybody looking at Rod, of course.
And they have no idea. I'm like, what's wrong with him? You know that? I'm just trying to, you know, clean up.
All they saw was Michael Jackson in the mid-'80s. How many people, this is my last question. My wife and I are huge Michael Jackson fans. I met Janet, interviewed her at Hot. I saw Michael perform in '93 in Munich. Criss Cross opened up for him. Did you go to one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did it. When he came to Atlanta, I did that one, and I did a couple of others, but yeah, remember that when they came.
How many people was around him all the time? Like, if you count security and like 15, 20 people, like all the time?
You know, okay, so it's kind of hard to tell because his brothers, when he was with his brothers, that was without the brothers. But if you count the brothers and their family and their security or whatever, like that's a lot of people, right? They literally, I don't care what hotel they were in, they always took up the whole floor, right? So when you come out the elevator, you're not even getting to that wing of that hotel room, or you know, you're not getting up. You open that elevator door, somebody greeting you like, "Yep, wrong floor."
Wrong floor. Keep going.
So, like, yeah, there's always, you know. Well, see, okay, so when you're talking about, you have security, and then you have the local police, right? And then you have his videographer, his photographer, and then you have his assistant, and then you have, you know, the
that man that you said.
So you're talking about his team it looks like a bunch of security, but it really is people who are dealing with various aspects of different part of his life that they have to deal with right then and there on a national, international basis. So you have a lot of different elements that are there, and unless you don't know them, where you can say, "Hi, Sam. Hi, you know, Evie. Hi, Bill. Hi, Chucky. Hi," you know what I mean? That, like, these are real people that's got real jobs, and they're not just there
they are not hanging around. Everybody working, right?
Yeah.
I love, you know, people don't get to hear that a lot. Well, you know, I'm a Michael Jackson fan, so you can't say nothing bad about Michael Jackson to me anyway. Like, you know, I'm one of them. But to hear you say those great things about him, it just make me feel good. Now, let me ask you, my wife just slipped me this piece of paper. She said she remember you was doing Tae Kwon Do. You still could drop somebody if you need to?
You know, one of the best things about martial arts is and I think Bruce Lee said it once, it's the art of also not fighting. So hopefully if you really understand what self-defense is about, and that's kind of really the reason why you do it, for exercise, self-defense, you know, stuff like that, is so that you don't get into an altercation. So if you are in a situation, you know how to disable them, you know, give yourself enough time to get away, or whatever it is you got to do to make short work of the situation.
Short work. That's that New York in him. He can't help it. Short work.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you're not trying to get
That's the short work, though.
like, okay, so let's say you're a big guy, right? But if another big guy wants to try and get at you, you're not trying to tussle with him.
Oh no,
you're not trying to shoot him. You're not trying to kill him.
It can't be
you
long.
You just want to make some short work of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little chop here to the throat, a thumb, whatever. Hit some vital organs. You know, 4 inches above the joints, whatever you got to do.
He's saying real stuff, y'all. Y'all not hearing all these joints and above. Listen, I hear it.
Wrist lock.
Basically, in his nicest way of saying it is, try him then and see what'll happen if he knows. Like,
you just don't want to hurt him. You just want to, you know, get them to realize
short work, dog. Hashtag short work.
Short work.
That is an amazing. I'm writing it down. That's an amazing movie title, dog. Short work.
You just want to, you know, hit a couple of situations and be done with it. Leave them where they are slightly incapacitated for a moment, just long enough for you to, you know, all this talking, you know, about that. And I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that.
I ain't want to do that to you. You making me do. Listen. So you shoot Webster. You make all this bread. You move to Atlanta. Before anybody really know Atlanta, before black people in California in the late 80s was like, man, there's black people doing good in Atlanta. Like before Atlanta, before Freaknik, you brought your whole family to Atlanta. Why? Besides that you probably could get 5 million acres back in the 80s for.
So at Atlanta, I don't even understand the concept and term. It sounds weird now when you say it. Atlanta was my summer home. Okay.
Got it.
So, which was really meant like vacation home. You know what I mean? So anytime that there was a break in the course of the year and I didn't have to be in New York in school, we would come and chill in Atlanta. It was just a great place in which to be. Okay. So when you say summer home, you think it's the hottest time of the year to be anywhere, especially in Georgia. But it means so much more than just that, right? So I was given a horse from a friend in upstate New York, and my head of security lived here in Georgia. And so he raised my horse. My horse wasn't more than a month or two old or whatever. Okay. And so they reared my horse here, bought acres, land, lake, whatever, and barn, stable, whatever, and reared my horse here. And so that I would come back home to ride and enjoy my home here. And then eventually, when everything matriculated, I lived here to go to college.
What school you went to?
Clark Atlanta University.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Come on. I didn't know that. CAU? I didn't know. When you was in school, who else was there? Who else was there?
When I was here?
When you was in school at Clark, who else was at Clark when you was there that we would know?
Like Shaka Zulu was here.
DDP. Also, if you went with Shaka, that means you went with DJ LV, all them Laverio. Oh, I know all the group of people that Shaka went to school with. They all was businessmen and Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. And let me see, who else is there? One of the members from man, it was a lot of different. I don't even want to call them wrong, but eventually, Keisha Knight came to Spelman, and
I remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, it was just a lot of friends from New York came through, and you know, I learned what an HBCU was.
Yeah.
You know, I see when I came to school, I thought I was going to go to Morehouse because I had never heard of Clark at the time,
Got
right?
it.
So I thought I was going to Morehouse. And I was like, well, Morehouse is great. And obviously I knew it because of Dr. King, but I didn't know much about Morris Brown. I didn't know about the Theological Center.
Right.
And I knew very little of Spelman, other than that it was an all-girls school. And that's pretty much what any guy needed to know. So
I'm in.
I'd be like, okay. so when I went there, that's when I got the history. Because when you're in LA, you know, living on the studio every day, African American studies is not on the top of their list. Matter of fact, coming from Midwood High School, which is, you know, Midwood, you know, New York, in Brooklyn, but it was you didn't have African American studies then. I mean, everybody's and their mama's got it now, but back then you didn't really learn anything about that unless in your family, you know, was telling you family stories or whatever. And then as you matriculated through different people, you would hear their stories. So I heard more about African American studies through real entertainers like Sammy Davis Jr. and hearing it from you know, the real OG actors and actresses and performers, entertainers. They would tell me about the history of it. My great grandmother, you know, a sharecropper, she was telling me stuff, what was going on in the South. But other than that, like when I first came to Georgia, I mean, I heard people telling me so many lies. They're like, well, first of all, there's no curbs in Atlanta, and their airplane, when you land, you just go walk off the jetway and the car go come get you right off the plane and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's like, man, I got that plane.
The same way as saying as soon as you get to New York, you're going to get mugged.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
get there.
I had some of the worst stories. I got to Atlanta. I'm like, man, y'all stupid. These people are so far sophisticated and whatever's going on. What the hell I'm listening to y'all for? Y'all just, you know what I mean? I was kind of mad because I could have done more research or, you know, talk to somebody else that was more informed than telling me a bunch of, you know.
That's the only good thing about Google. You don't have to listen to people lying.
Nobody.
Like you don't have to, you can ask somebody and go.
Take nobody's word for nothing. You go find for yourself.
Then you go like this. That ain't true.
Exactly. Fact check is on.
Now it sucks when you do it to your parents, but listen, even parents, you gotta watch what you say, because as soon as your kids go upstairs, they be like, "My mom ain't never been nowhere." And really, Emmanuel, that's what, you know. I heard if you go to Atlanta, they ain't got no curbs. I heard when you go to New York, they just mug you at the airport for reals. Stop it. But it was all word of mouth. I heard they all moved. Black people doing good. They sounded so slavery. I remember being in San Jose, California, and hearing one of my dad's cousins was coming to say goodbye. He was moving to Atlanta, and they talked for hours about how, you know, a black man got a chance out there. And I was like, we middle class people in San Jose, California, it sounds like you going to slavery. I don't want to go to slavery, actually. I don't. A
horse and buggy was going to pick me up in Atlanta. I promise you. That's the kind of crap that they were telling me.
The ones from downtown on Peachtree, the white one with the music in it. He got a JBL speaker.
They lied to me. I'm like, you know, it's whatever. By that time, but here's the thing. By that time, when they were trying to explain all of this stuff to me, I had already been to Florida. I had already been to California. I had already been to Japan. I was already well traveled.
Why were you in Japan?
I had a #1 hit single in Japan called City Connection. Google that real quick.
Wait a minute. You had a song?
Yeah.
You are. What's it called?
City Connection. Come on, guy.
City.
So I did that in I think 80, 81. I think it was, yeah, it's 81. It went number one on the Billboard chart. I wish somebody with Billboard give me this fact check, and so they can show it. So it would hit the Japanese Billboard, because when you go to the international side of the Billboard, it shows you all of the different countries and where I was. I went number one on the Japanese on the Billboards. Yeah, that's it.
Making that connection, baby.
That's it.
Wait a minute, I want to hear your. Hold on, let me hear your first verse.
That's the English version.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's the English version, which means it's
Go to the Japanese version.
You are lying to me. City Connection.
Go to the Japanese version. Want me to give it to you?
No, I got it. City Connection. Japanese version. You are lying to me, dog. This is blessing my soul.
I could tell because the backgrounds were higher on that one than it was on the.
Here you go. I like that bass though.
Night connection skills, baby. Nine, 10 years old.
Baby, did you sing it in Japanese or they dubbed you?
No, I sang it in Japanese.
What? Come on. See, y'all learned this first on 2 Trillion Thoughts. Why I known you for decades and ain't know you had a Japanese hit, you make somebody sick, dog. You had a
couple more songs. I did I'm a Robot and Baby Star, Kira Kira Ohoshi-sama, Baby Star. I don't even know where I have it somewhere in here. But anyway, I got a couple ones. I'm a Robot. It was down, diddy down.
Emmanuel, I ain't playing what you do.
I don't know.
You had songs in Japan. So at 10, 11, you already, so you hadn't even done Webster yet.
Not 10. Yeah, I did Webster at the age of 12. Oh. So all of this happened between 9, 10. Yeah. And yeah, somewhere up in there. Yeah. A lot.
If Disney, if Kid Disney was out, you would have been a mega, like they treated you like an adult as far as, so let me just say this. And you just tuning in, it's Emmanuel Lewis. They wrote this show around you, but Disney now, they get kids at 10, they put them in sitcoms and stuff, and till they 16, then they own.
Now, they didn't mess with brothers that much back then. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh,
now.
Got it.
You got to remember now, this is pre-MTV when they weren't even messing with Mike.
That's right.
So there's a lot of doors that was been broken off. See.
So you was that black guy for reals.
Dude, like, listen, the fact that here's a fun fact that, say it if they want to say it or not, but I'm just going to keep it a buck. But here's the thing. When we were able to, when they created something huge, when they put a show, when you had Different Strokes, which was an awesome show, one of my favorite shows coming out with Coleman and the whole lot, right?
Todd Bridges,
Todd, Dana,
Conrad Bain,
yeah,
Charlotte Ray.
When you put the name of the show, Dana Webster, which is the little black kid, and that's the title of the show. Before that, there's not one other kid that was the name of the show that was Black in America. That was the first time ever a Black kid name, character name was the name of the
Because they
show.
could have casually called Different Strokes after.
They called another ball game, then they changed it to Then Came You, and then they did Webster. So when they changed a lot when they made my show Webster, because that helped the rest of everybody else realize that Black kids are bankable.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so when you really understand, what that really means to an industry, you can bank on the one Black kid can hold down with his name, can hold down a show, and we do great in ratings, and we win.
You are a trailblazer, sir. You are an African American hero. They need to, and I kind of thought it because I was like, they could have called Different Strokes Arnold, and everybody would have been cool with it because he read. But they actually called your show that, and that was, right when you said before MTV, because they was only playing Michael Jackson, Prince, and then Lionel Richie. Like, as far as.
But they had to fight to get Michael fought, because remember, they didn't want to play him on MTV at first. Remember that?
That is funny.
They didn't even want to play him then. And so Sony did the big move of saying, we're not bringing any of our people on MTV unless you're playing Michael. Sony did the big move with Michael. They stood together and bust open that door. So like, there's so many different people, so many different layers of people, opening the door a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more. Now it's, it's wide open. But back then, it was not wide open.
But if it wasn't for you, then there would be no Different Strokes. There would definitely be no Cosby Show.
Different Strokes was first, so they came first. I'm gonna give them their props. They came first, so they opened the door a crack for me, then I opened the crack a little bit wider for the next one. So if you look at shows with Raven, That's So Raven.
Benson. What about Benson? You opened the door for Benson.
She was the first female Black kid to have a show named after her.
Got it. Oh, so it still was time in between.
So I'm the Black kid, but now you have the Black female kid. Women, men. All that is still stereotypical stuff that still is in showbiz and in business today. It's not the same.
Man, for the people that's watching this, I hope you have discounted everything you heard about childhood actors. This dude is one of the most joy-filled brothers I know. Always got a great spirit. And I think this is the time I should tell them what you did at that club with me. This how
I have no idea which one you got, because you got a few of them.
This is how we gonna end it. This is how we gonna end it. In Atlanta on Memorial Drive, and not over there by the jail, over there off of 20, they made the new Club Esso. You remember that?
I remember Esso, of course.
Yeah, not the one on Peachtree.
Right.
When they made the bigger one,
right.
Yeah, that was on Memorial right there. Okay. I was hosting something, or I was on stage with somebody or something.
You're always hosting
high stage, and the people are on the bottom low. One night, and you're gonna say you don't remember.
Okay.
We did this during the pandemic. Me, you, and DJ.
Yo, I laughed so hard.
Emmanuel.
I love the way
one night, I said, hey, everybody, B103 or Hot 107.9, whoever I was with. Hey, Emmanuel Lewis is up in this thing. They showed you love, and you went like this. And I said, I am not picking you up, Emmanuel. And you never put your hands down. You just See how he ain't saying nothing, y'all? He remember.
Say it.
He don't want. No. Don't make it sound like you was going touchdown.
No. Okay, so if your hands in front of you is like, that's a shout out to you, bro.
You had the pick me up sign, Emmanuel. You was not. That was not the showing you love sign. That's the.
Okay, pick me up would be with your palms flat out. Put yours like it's like, yo, that's my dude. That's different.
You know what? And I was drinking on that night. So
yeah, all good.
That's funny as hell. I always thought you said you wanted me to pick you up. I was like, I ain't gonna pick you. Hell no, I ain't gonna pick you up.
Hell no. But I love that's like I said, the truth is one thing, but the way you tell it is so much better.
Change it now.
It's like, you know, yo, it's like I'm giving you like it's like.
And now I think about it, you was like,
yeah, like this, like that, man. Like that's my boy Griff. Shout out to you, appreciate the love. That wasn't.
You just messed my story up for the rest of my life. I gotta go back and tell people. Listen, oh no, he was just saying what's happening.
You keep telling it your way. I love your story way better than the truth.
Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Emmanuel Lewis, how can people? I remember at one time you had a record label where you was making beats. Was you making beats over the pandemic or something? You was in the lab?
Okay, so yes and no. I was just vibing. You know, when you're in this pandemic and not just me, a whole lot of people, it's a whole lot of mental psychological, warfare that you're dealing with now. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Staying at home, I don't mind the devil playground, all that kind of stuff. So you're really doing your best to just stay positive and not kill each other in the same house for people you ain't seen that often.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's keep it a buck. You ain't seen your people that much ever.
Listen.
So much that you had to get reacquainted with. You do this? Like you did like habits that you don't know people do and recognizing stuff. So for me, I needed to play music and vibe out and just do those things that, make me happy. I mean, like that's what I
saw I saw you sitting, like maybe you had 3, and you was
yeah.
You was like, put some more, I like that, but put some more
okay, so
hold on.
I had producers and singers, so we did live recording sessions, but my producer is in Cali right now, Mark, and then we had some singers from different places, and then I had writers on live, so we was doing live recording sessions, separately in different parts of the United States.
Man, that's over. You such an OG. You a triple OG.
Somebody got to do it.
You a trip.
Well, people don't know that this is what I did, back in the day and doing stuff. So
I'm about to play this Japanese song on the radio tomorrow.
You're funny.
I'm gonna find that. I'm a robot one too, dog.
You gotta look at I don't even know that. It's called Dan Dan, and I don't know that was out, or Baby Star. I don't even know if that was that. See, I don't know. Back in those days, cross marketing was different. Even though it was a song for a particular commercial. So even though they recorded it and they put it out as a single, technically, even that song was for Clarion Stereo. So that song was a commercial for Clarion Stereo. But it was such a fun and catchy song. They also used it as a single and put it out. So wow. It was never one thing.
Got it. Oh man, you ain't never been one thing either, dog. I love you, man.
Love you too, Griff, dog. It's always a pleasure seeing you, talking to you. It is always so much fun. You have some of the best jokes. I laugh so hard, my side hurts. Like I said, the last time you and I together, it was me, you, and Fife, dog. At that studio, I think it was in Marietta, at that spot over there, and that was the last time that I laid eyes
Franklin Road, dog.
Right.
Cafe Red Train.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes, Cafe Red Train. Thank you for that.
We made Fife get on the mic and do his part.
Yes, he did too.
Man, that's a good.
And it wasn't not more than a couple of months after that, I think, that he had passed away. But
man, dang, that's a good memory,
dog. With Fife Dog and you.
Good memory,
and
dog.
Wanda came. I think Wanda was there.
Wanda was there. Man, I got nothing but love for you, E-Man. Keep being great. Keep inspiring. Keep encouraging.
Love you, dog.
I love you, dog. You take care and stay blessed.
Tell everybody in the family I said I love them and give them my best.
You already know. Baby, Emmanuel Lewis said he love you.
You dang all right.
Hold on. She running in here right now, dog.
I love you.
How you doing?
Hi.
I'm good. How's everything?
Great. I'm married to this one.
You know what? This guy is such a down dude. Like, I really dig him. There's not anybody that I couldn't hang out with anywhere in the ATL or otherwise than Griff. We've been more places in the ATL running behind him, hosting or doing something. We've had so much fun.
Fun nights, man. Fun
So
nights.
I know what kind of player he is, so that means I know what kind of dame you are. So God bless you, man. I really appreciate you.
I love that he called you a dame. That's a good brother
right
there. Love you, man.
No doubt.
So nice to
love
meet
you.
Too.
Take care, baby.
Absolutely. Peace out.
Oh, wow. How cool was that, man? How much information did we learn? What up, GY? Happy birthday to my brother again. It was yesterday, but so it's my brother. I can shout him out if I want to. Oh, you know what today is, though? It's Canada Day. Griff, what is Canada Day? Don't be so North American, okay? Don't be so North American that you don't know about. Yeah, GY Day. I love it too. She's a special dame. Shout out to your wife, Tiff, man. What up, First Lady T? So Canada Day is Canada's 4th of July. It's their independence. But I think if ours is 1867, maybe theirs is 1887 or something. Guess why I don't know all the way? Because I'm American. But we should know more about Canada. People in Detroit, the Detroit people took me to Canada for the first time. So, they know what Canada Day is. Detroit people celebrate something called a Sweeties Day or something. Yeah, you're a special day, babe. And shout out to my homeboy GY with the best corned beef place in Michigan that I ain't ate one yet, but other people, Joe Blunt told me it was good. His daughter had a bite of his. I was doing too much and wasn't able to get a sandwich, but it's all good. Thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. We appreciate you. Sweeties Day. I know it's, that's so Detroit. That's so Michigan. I gotta ask somebody in Flint, do they celebrate it? Because that's a Detroit that made their own Valentine's Day kind of. I have to have you on, GY, to explain that one time. In fact, GY, let me put you on next week. Let's do a real brother one. I'll call you after this. We'll talk about it. Man, thank y'all for watching and listening today. Thank you for being supportive. Shout out to my awesome wife, Lenika Fanay. We celebrated 7 months yesterday. We celebrated 7 months in love. We got to go and eat there. Hi, George and Wifey. I know. That's you. Definitely. We know. We going. It's a Michigan day. It's a Michigan thing, too, all day, GY. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, Emmanuel Lewis, man. I learned so much, man. I love his relationship with Michael Jackson. I love what he did in TV, and I love remembering that it was only ABC, CBS, and NBC back then. Ain't that crazy? It feel like it was just recently. It was 3 networks. That's it. And I remember Fox came on and they was like, oh, Fox, these young people. Anyway, I gotta go. Have an amazing day. Put God first and stay blessed. I pray for everybody that lost somebody recently, somebody that lost somebody during the pandemic, because today was the memorial for my Aunt Kitten, and that was tough for us. Thank you, Kim. That's my web designer and good friend, partner right there, Kim. She's awesome. She's just coming back on vacation. Tiff said, hey, babe. How about that? I need y'all to stop trying to get in a whole conversation at the end of the show. We got to go. Aricio, love you, man. All the way from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Nephew, Aset, I love you, man. I appreciate you watching too from the DMV. You guys have an amazing day. Let's close it out on the song. We have Mr. Talkbox on the show today, so it only makes sense that we close the show with his song. I'll see y'all next week.
2 trillion thoughts. Come on. 2 trillion thoughts. We GRIFF. 2 trillion thoughts. He's got thoughts from the west side, and he took it all the way to the east side. Everybody just feel the vibe. Now say 2 trillion thoughts, baby. Let's talk about it. Gotta talk about it. Let's think about it. Think about it. 2 trillion thoughts, baby.
Happy Canada Day, y'all.